Welcome back, everybody. I am Dave with Nelson Creek Farm, and we're making progress on getting our irrigation water pipe put in the ground today. So it's a good day for being Tuesday, the 30th of May, 2023. While I'm backfilling under this pipe a little bit to give it some support before I get in here with the tractor with the front end loader and start burying this, I'll give you a little info on how we got to this point. Yeah, so here's the scoop on the poop, as they say. In this little bit of a clip that you can see right here that I shot yesterday, I was talking about how I needed to end up making the flat spot round again, and there is a bump up there at the top corner and down at the lower end of that I was trying to get rid of by using the ratchet strap on the thing, and it didn't work out very well, and yeah, so that was part of what I did yesterday. So what I ended up doing was heading into town, my son's work, and I got another piece of pipe to replace that blue pip pipe with. This is white pip. It's a little different size than most common IPS size, but anyway, it's the same thing, just white instead of blue. And I cut off part of that blue pipe a little higher up than I thought I needed to. That's the reason for the white pipe. While I was working on that yesterday, I noticed some burn marks that I just pointed at, and it is flat pretty much. Well, I think I pointed to it here in a minute. Yeah, it's pretty much flat to right about here. So what I was going to do is I'm going to cut that blue pip pipe and put the white one with that gasket on there, put this all back together and get it installed. Well, there it is, folks. There's the top end assembled all the way from the valve down to the old 45 and a new section of pipe and a new 45 just to get that angled down into the ground. Now, some of you may recall from a video I did last year on one of the reasons why I'm burying this pipe. The neighbor's irrigator and I got into a little bit of a tiff one morning because he was thinking I was stealing his water to put on my place, which I was only taking what was mine legally. And as you can see, they have mangled into this pipe really badly with a pry bar and separated this male end from that female end. Now, that gasketed end is probably all right to be reused because when they pried it apart, they pried the material up like this, back and up. So that one should be okay to reuse. I just got to clean the dirt out of the end of it. This end, though, however, I'm going to have to cut it off a ways back and kind of taper over the end a little bit so that this pipe will fit in the end of that and get sucked up back together again. So in an attempt to keep somebody from prying the pipe apart is the number one reason why I'm burying it. Number two is that thermal expansion and contraction probably cause separation and leaks at some of the joints. And thirdly, I am burying it so that I can burn the weeds that you see here behind me along this fence line. And just a bit ago, I showed you the burned marks on that section of pipe that was down at the top end that we took out. Yeah, so that pipe was no good, and when we do burn this along here, it gets hot enough, it'll destroy the pipe. So that's why the pipe is going below ground. Now, fixing up this end should be fairly easy enough and straightforward. Once I get that other end cut off short where the damaged end is and slid together, I should have enough room on this end to install another 45-degree angle. And if I have to, I've got a coupler that I can join a short piece in, which I probably will end up doing. Yeah, at least a foot or two of pipe with a coupling. That should get me up where I need to be. So to make this end work, I'm going to have to come in this way with the bucket loader on the new LS tractor and move this dirt back a ways, take it down to the far end, way down there, dump it in there, and then I can lay a piece of gated pipe across here to get the grade level for that to hook into. And then that'll tell me kind of about what I need to do back in here with the 45-degree elbow and how long of an extra piece I need to put in there. Well, I've got that end cut off, the bad end where the pry bar had got into it. And we have about 3 foot of gap right there. I got to push about 112 or 115 feet of pipe back this way to hook it into there. Now, even though this fitting down here started to come apart, I've opted to leave this on, so I simply have something to give this pipe a shove with. Yeah, so a little bit at a time, a couple inches at a whack, I'm going to shove this ahead 3 feet till it hits that other pipe down yonder. Well, now that I kind of have the pipe started here, going together on this end, I'll save you the time and whatnot of watching me walk back and forth to way down yonder there to where the ratchet strap and the come along is to move this pipe up this way and get it stuffed in there about 5-6 inches. Now, in case you missed why I had the ratchet strap anchored there on the left side of that joint and running all the way down here to the fence post right there, is because I wanted to get all of those joints from there all the way down squished back together. That end is together, it won't squish anymore, and me wiggling it isn't making it compress the pipe back here into the end of that coupling right there. So I think that's about it. Now to get on to that other end, we'll get it fitted and up above grade level, and then we can start backfilling this thing after we test it. Did I mention that there's actually a fourth reason why I'm burying this? Now, before the weather turns bad or clouds up or becomes sunny again or whatever it's doing today, I want to show you an old timer's trick. A fellow by the name of Sparky showed me this years ago, and it works wonders in putting together this gasketed pipe. The trick Sparky showed me to do, use Dawn dish soap. And what it is a lubricant for these rubber gaskets that are inside of here. Now, these rubber gaskets are designed to let the pipe slip into each other fairly easily, but they are not designed to come apart easily. The gasket has a flange in it so that when you go to water pressure hits it coming this way, it flares out and clamps down on the pipe. And when you go to try to pull the pipe out, that also clamps down on there and tries to hold it. But to fit these together though, that Dawn dish soap works really well. I'm getting this little project wrapped up just in time. There's some thunder boomers up there making some noise. We're going to have to get on this and get her done right quick, so let's go open and close the valve. There's actually a riser assembly in there in that rose bush that is starting to bloom. It's an old-fashioned rose bush. I'm going to have to cut that thing way back, put it in some pots, and see if I can't sell it at the farmer's market. That riser comes out to a T right here, and this valve goes to the pond and the creek. We're going to close it. We're going to open this one that goes out to the field. Now that I got the water heading down, we'll go follow that pipeline, see how it looks before I bury it. Hopefully there's no leaks. Knock on some wood. Now there it is. The water's pushing out the stuff that was built up in the pipe. So we got water coming through the whole thing. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. And we're seeing a bunch of stuff getting flushed out. That's also a good plus. Well, so far so good. Doesn't appear to be any leaks in that pipe all the way down to these joints down here. So we'll go back and check one more time on those fittings, see if any of them are leaking now that the system is full of water, and begin backfilling. Yeah, so once we get that done and get that pipe buried, then we can work on spraying these weeds out here in this field, getting rid of the Canadian thistle that's coming across from over here in the neighbor's place, which you can see sticking up out there. And we'll get this worked up, maybe put some alfalfa in it for some hay this year on this side. I don't know. But if we're going to do anything, we're going to get a garden plot put in, and we're going to get some water over there to that west field and see if some of that pasture grass won't start coming up. I still think I'm going to end up having to reseed that. Right there is the joint that was pried apart, and as you can see, nice and dry. So I must have got that shoved together good enough to keep it from leaking. Nothing down here at that joint right down there either. So we're still looking good from one end all the way to the other so far. Okay, so for now what I'm going to do is shut the water off, let the water hold that pipe down in place, and then I'm going to start backfilling it. Say, do you know why a boarding school is the opposite of kidnapping? Any ideas? Well, kidnappers want money for your kid. A boarding school, if you don't give them money, they'll send your kid back. Yeah. Okay, now earlier in the video, I told you of 3 things that was reason why I'm fooling with this pipe. Well, there is a 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there is. The 4th thing is, and I'm going to start doing this maybe on a somewhat weekly basis. I think SHTF, yeah, you know, when the stuff hits the fan. I think that's coming sooner than we realize or we want to care to know about. This thing with Ukraine is getting out of hand. Our government's getting out of control. A lot of people are claiming we're needing another revolution. No, I'm not condoning that. I'm not condoning political stuff. By the way, if you see a Joe Biden commercial on this channel, I have nothing to do with that. That is a YouTube thing. So don't be sending me any more of those hateful messages claiming, why am I showing Joe Biden? I had nothing to do with that. Anyway, getting back to the 4th thing, or reason why I'm fooling with this pipe so much. 1 is it needed to be done, of course, and the other 3 reasons I've already explained, you know, that it keep it from getting pried apart, keep it from coming apart with thermal heating and contraction, and so I can burn the weeds. That's number 3 along here, and that sort of thing. The main reason, though, why I'm doing this, or one of the main reasons why I'm burying this pipe, is because the water system here on this farm is all total gravity flow. Yeah, it is. And if stuff hits the fan, I'm pretty confident that the electric utilities are going to be gone, and people that have irrigation pumps running pivots or wheel lines or whatever, they're going to be SOL. So that's why I'm trying to take care of my infrastructure, so I can keep watering the farm. Yeah, because the canal company right now, they can turn the water on and off up at the main gates at the reservoir just by getting on a cell phone, punching a couple of buttons and that sort of thing. But they can also manually open them. So if it comes to it, they can manually open and close the gates. I can get water, so can everybody else. But if they're depending on electricity for irrigation pumps, they are going to be in a world of hurt, I do believe. So that's reason number 4 why I'm doing this. Now, because I am doing this, I am going to start about every other week or so. I'm going to do a little bit of a short video on some of the things I'm doing to keep myself prepared for what I perceive to be an upcoming future need for it. Yeah, I think we're all going to be caught with our pants down if we don't prep a little bit. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am not what I would call an active prepper, but I do think we all need to have a little bit of something in reserve to fall back on should we need it. So anyway, that's going to be coming up in the next few videos. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in one video, probably a week here for a while, off and on. But yeah, so y'all better be stocking up and getting ready and canning your food and whatever and all that kind of jazz, because you're going to need it. Anyway, we're sitting at 490 subscribers. Thank you, all of you, very much for subscribing. In fact, I've picked up another coworker even that I work with at the in-town job. Hi, Anthony. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up burying this pipe here. I'm going to stop yapping at you now so you can get on with something else that you got to do. And yeah, we'll get into this, how I'm being prepared or trying to prepare myself for potential dark times. Yeah. So anyway, we are at 490 subscribers. I appreciate that. Thank you to all of the new subscribers out there. And as always, don't forget, right down there in the bottom of that, not right here, but right down there, that big red thing that says subscribe on it. I would dearly love to hit 500 subscribers or more by the 1st of July. So keep passing the word around, and we're looking forward to the rest of you that have just been following, to hitting the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't hurt you in any way, shape, or form, but it does help me. And if you leave the comments in the comment section and what you like to see, thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever in that regards, that also helps. But yeah, we're going to do some of this little prep stuff. We're going to get a garden going here on the farm, and we're going to be probably picking up some new implements to go with this particular tractor. So stay tuned if that sort of thing interests you. Who knows what we're going to come up? Heck, we might even start a nudist colony or something here. Anyway, just kidding. I'm too old for that. So we'll catch up with you later. I'm Farmer Dave. Y'all be careful out there, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye for now.